may not get to the point where we say we must communicate in Igbo. We're still in the executive council. I have people who don't understand Igbo language, who are not Igbos. So you don't want to excommunicate them or marginalize them. So that's the only concern. But then you still find that we start the executive council with the presentation of kola nut. And everything about the kola nut is done in Igbo and in our tradition. So you may not get to the point where everything that you are doing will be handled in the language. But at least we need to be conscious that this is our language and we shouldn't allow it to die. And the language is part of the culture of a people. And if you let your culture die, then you are as well dead. And that is why we ensure that it becomes compulsory that our schools offer Igbo language. And you will find that some of these things, by moral suasion, encouragement, they would just take center stage instead of legislating them and forcing them. Steve, thank you for your very kind words, particularly on the Nonya Eluama Road. Your question is about the anti-open grazing law, which you said was passed some years ago. I'm not really aware of the passage of that law. I'm sure it's something that happened before our administration, right? Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so we are going to look at it again. The Senior Special Assistant on Legislative Matters, please, let's go and check. And if that law was actually passed, let's review it. And if it is in order, once a law has been passed, it has to be implemented. So let's look at it. Let's be sure that it was passed, and then we can now take it off from there. But thank you, Steve, for bringing this to my attention. I'm just hearing about it for the first time. I am also an apostle of anti-open grazing. I believe that we've gone beyond carrying cows and destroying people's farms. Even the species of cows that are modern don't need to rigmarole all over the place. So we'll look at it, and thank you for calling our attention to it. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll move over to television, but before then, the SMS have been pouring in. Keep the messages coming in. Right after now, we'll reel out some of them and allow His Excellency to respond to them. Television, please. Hands up.
Let's begin with the man at the front.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Mwazwe. I work for Afia TV. Your Excellency, my question is bordering on what my friend Imeremba mentioned about the security situation, particularly about the kidnapping incident. The victims were said to be Chinese miners. And it now brought me to the knowledge that Abia State does have, a good deposit of some solid minerals, like kaolin, even gold, and all that. Now, looking at this situation, I was asking what the intention of those who attacked these miners were. Could they just be ordinary kidnappers, or that we are having a kind of the preliminary stage of the Zamfara and Niger experiences. If that is the case, there is the need to nip this in the bud. So, what is the administration doing? We know clearly that the Constitution, Section 44(3) of the Nigerian Constitution, vested the ownership and control of Nigeria's mineral resources on the federal government. But then we have the issue of the Land Use Act, 1978, given also the land authorities on the governors. That appears to be some kind of conflict. Now, how are you going to handle this issue? The federal government is far away in Abuja, may not be controlling the mining sites. And again, we cannot take away the fact that there is the issue of illegal miners operating. How are you handling this? Thank you very much.
Next person. Okay. Okay, Nenna TVC. All right.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sapphire Chinazom Gabriel. I report for TVC News. Okay, Your Excellency, it's been endless complaints and grumblings from KK operators. They said they were told to pay 1,500 naira for bucket and then 5,000 naira for form, registration form for repainting of KK, and that's 5,000 naira. And this is also different from the money that they will pay for the repenting itself. And they say that the tax force, they are disturbing them so much, and it's a lot for them already. Now they want to know if you are aware of this. The second question is to know it's part of this.
Thank you very much.
Just one question.
It is part of this. I am not going away from KK operators. Now they want to know why they were told to pay this money cash and not into the state government account, because he said that all monies will be paid into one account. And where they make this payment is at Astopu office, and is at number 1 K Street, Umahia. They are also complaining that the 5,000 naira is too much. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, move over here. The man on red cap.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Mazi Iweha O Empire from Confluence Television, Lokoja, Kogi State. Surprised? Your Excellency, I'm also the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Kogi State on surveillance, and also Igbo Youth President General in Kogi State. Your Excellency, my own is just commendation. The Abians in Kogi State are proud of you. We are so happy. I was in Abia State a few years ago, but when I returned 2 days ago, the difference is clear. Thank you, Your Excellency, for making us proud. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Excellent.
All right, thank you. Shall we? All right, thank you, thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, please, one house, let's get responses from His Excellency. Thank you.
All right, so let me start with the last comment from Iweha. Thank you very much for the commendation. And we are happy that we are represented in Kogi State. And we want to also thank Kogi State for employing one of our sons. And it's nice to see you. And please keep coming home. All right, the Chinazo Gabriel. Huh? Zafire. Okay, so your question is about keke operators. You seem to have so much information that I would have suspected that you are one of them. But some of the things you said are strange, and we need to let our people know that, first of all, anybody that says you should pay cash is not working with the government. And we must learn to resist extortion. You know, it does appear that we've been exposed for too long to some of these bad behavior that we tend to see them as normal. So you should also blow the whistle. When somebody says, pay me cash, the person is already a thief. So call the security agencies, report them. In fact, bringing this matter here is not helpful. The person that was approached should have reported it immediately, and we would have dealt with it. We've apprehended a lot of people, fake people all over the place, going about with printed receipts, but they are not government officials. Okay, so that is the first signal that something is wrong. When somebody says, you must pay me cash, why should you pay him cash? You should stand up to him and call security agencies. Okay, so we shouldn't allow criminals to intimidate. All right, and I don't know how much, whether it's 5,000 or 2,000, or I don't know. But I would like, unfortunately, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, who is in charge of the Harmonized Task Forces in Owerri, attending a program on my behalf. But I would like this message to go to him. SSG, please take note, and we need to find out how much are the fees, okay? And we need to publicize it, and we need to educate our people that anybody who comes to them to ask for cash is not working for the state government and should be apprehended and treated like a common criminal. Okay. The Emmanuel Wazue, you are questioning about the security situation and the kidnapping of Chinese, which you now brought to the issue of solid minerals. And you really wanted to know how the government is addressing this. It is, we have such laws that conflict. And if the land belongs to the state, but what is below it belongs to the federal government. So there's always a way. It's the same thing with oil. The land belongs to the state, but the oil belongs to the federal government. So there's always room for partnership. And that's exactly what we are doing. But first of all, you need to prove that you have those solid minerals underground. and our Commissioner for Petroleum and Mineral Resources, together with his team, have been working around the clock to at least prove. There is probable, there is also proved. Once they are proved, then we'll partner with the federal government. Just like we also are partnering with Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, PETAN, and we have already set up APTAN, which is an exploration and production company, waiting for the next bid round. And the over 100 wells that are capped in Okwa West, we need to bid for them. And we believe once we have them, we can do what they call walkover and begin to produce. So we are not there yet. Of course, kaolin, everyone knows, between Ohia and other parts of the state. Phosphate in Bende. So lignite in Ikwano, those are known. But then the process of trying to get them off the ground is what we are working on. So rest assured that the government is doing everything possible, because that's actually money that is there. If you leave it for several years, you are losing money. So we are working seriously. In fact, we set up a committee made up of experts, geologists, geophysicists from different parts of the country who are working, or that's working with the Honorable Commissioner on solid minerals. I guess that's about it.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We'll move over now to the SMS. And this one says, I want to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti, for his magnanimity to ASOBEB staff for defraying the arrears of salary owed to them by the previous administration of Governor Oki. Sir, it is unfortunate that retired staff of ASOBEB who merited this payment, whether dead or alive, were excluded from the payment. Your Excellency, sir, I humbly request you fatherly look into this issue. Thank you for your understanding. From Innocent Aloma.
His Excellency, this is coming from Eze. Okay, sir.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. Sorry, I'm taking another question now. I want to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti, for his magnanimity to ASOBEB staff for defraying the arrears of salary owed to them by previous administration of Governor Okezi Ikpeazu. Sir, it is unfortunate that retired staff of ASOBEB who retired have not been paid, whether dead or alive, were excluded from the payment. Your Excellency, sir, I humbly request you fatherly look into this issue. Thank you for your understanding. Innocent Aloma.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. At the last media chat, you expressed surprise and shock that your approval to pay the retirement entitlement of permanent secretaries retired October 31, 2023 has not been effected. It has still not been. What is holding it? Your officers seems not to have understood your instructions or are working against it, sir. Thanks. This is coming from Ezenwoke Egu from Bende local government area.
The governor announced extension of retirement service age of nurses and health workers in Abia State from 60 to 65 years. Information reaching us is that state payroll officers in charge of workers' salary are refusing to pay some of the affected health workers who are currently in service, demanding individual letters of approval signed by the governor for their extension. For this cause, some health workers who are beneficiaries of the 65 years extension have not been receiving salaries. Obimba Uchi from Omwahia. Can we allow you respond to your... Okay, sir.
All right, so maybe let me take the last one, Obim Bauchi. The extension of retirement age from 60 to 65, the directive has been given, and I'm aware that it's being implemented. But it has to be implemented in such a way that it's only people who are fit and able to work. It is not for people who are not able to work. And I see that with teachers. So it is fit, willing and able to work. So it's not general. If you are not able to contribute, to even ask for help and take care of yourself. So that's based on my experience with teachers. I believe that's what this question is speaking to. Is a work retirement? Okay, payment of retirement benefits to permanent secretary in 2023. Information available to me is that the payments had been made a long time. So, and I think what people are agitating for is gratuity. And unfortunately, gratuity had not been paid in this state for several years. So, and I have said, while we are looking at those ones that are pending, we will also put them in the same bucket. But all the other retirement benefits and even pension are being paid up to date. Innocent talked about ASUBEP staff. It's unfortunate if retired staff have not been paid. And I would direct the chairman of ASUBEP to look into that. You know, the first stage was the verification. So it's understandable if they started with those who were still in active service. It was the same thing that happened at Obonayono Polytechnic. But subsequently, I had also directed that retired staff be paid. And even those that were disengaged before the administration came on board. And I believe that by now they've all been paid. So please, SSG, take note of this and take it up with the chairman of ASUBEP so that everybody who is due to be paid is paid. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency. This one says, good evening, Your Excellency. I thank His Excellency for the excellent work you are doing in the state since the inception of your administration, especially in the area of infrastructures. I also thank His Excellency for promising to revisit the issues of arrears of pension and gratuity of Abia pensioners. Your Excellency, Abia pensioners are full of expectation regarding your promise to revisit the Memorandum of Agreement will be actualized, and when pensioners expect to be paid their said arrears of pension and gratuity. This is coming from Oyema Eze Anyaku.
My name is Very Reverend Kenneth Ngubani. Your Excellency, I commend you for your commitment to giving Abians quality health care. Your Excellency, you graciously approved the construction of a road to Amudo Rehabilitation Center at Itumbozo last year. I appeal for commencement of construction work before the peak of rainy season this year. May God continue to strengthen you.
This is coming from, I think that no identity. We can move on. Please, when you send your SMS, you do well to include your name. Sir, I honestly want to appreciate and thank you, sir, for your response in the last monthly media chat concerning our road, which links us with our Kit and Kings in Omoyugu, Nduru, Oboro, and Uyo in Akwa Ibom State, which the Honorable Commissioner for Works, Engineer Don, came and inspected. I think this is commendation.
Okay. And this one says, what about the Abia Road Traffic and Safety Management Agency that has not been paid since January, and non-implementation of minimum wage for workers in the Department of Livestock and Veterinary, Ministry of Agriculture, and non-payment of leave allowances since the inception of this administration? Emeka from Omwahia. Your Excellency, sir.
I guess that's about it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We're
sir.
getting more of commendations than questions.
Okay. So the commendation on the road network, thank you very much. Onye Maize, thank you for your commendation and for your kind words on infrastructure. I've answered the question on the issue of pension. I'm sure you had sent in this question before I answered it. Reverend Mobani was appealing that the road to Amudo be kicked off. I think we have that in the budget, and it must have been awarded. But if it has not been awarded, it will be awarded very soon. Emeka asking about road ASEMA, I think that's the acronym for it. And then some people in Agric that have not been affected by the new minimum wage. That means that they are not civil servants. If your name was on the payroll as at the time we implemented the new minimum wage, you would have received it. I know that there are some agencies of government who have hired some people on contract basis, and they will run through their contract, and if it needs to be renewed, it will be renewed. So, but if you are a civil servant in Abia State, you would have been receiving the new minimum wage because it was implemented without discrimination. That would be my response to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Over to you, Mr. Fernando.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition, or this month's edition of Governor Lex Otti Speaks to Abians. But before we finally round off, we once again yield the microphone to His Excellency for his closing remarks. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me start by now commending the anchors for today's media chat for a job well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I'd like to also thank all the media houses that are represented here, and of course our brothers and sisters who joined us from their homes, and of course those online who ask questions. This has become a monthly ritual where we present our scorecard and let you air your views and ask questions. You will agree with me that we do not um, uh, we do not delegate anybody, and you are free to ask the questions that you want to ask. And this is how this government operates, on the basis of transparency and openness. So I want to thank you for your questions. I may not have answered all of them well, but I've answered them honestly to the best of my knowledge. And those ones that I didn't have answers to, I have referred them to the right people so that we can provide answers. I want to remind us that this government, by next month, end of next month, would have clocked 2 years. So we are just 23 months. And I want to thank Abia people for the massive support that this government has been receiving. And you can be sure that this is a government that God used you to bring to power. And it is a government that is answerable to you and you alone. You may hear some noise left, right, and center. And for us, we really don't pay attention to the noise. We had made it clear from day one that if you are used to a particular style and a change happens, a lot of times people struggle with the change. So people have been used to a particular style of governance or government. But that government, that style, is only for a few privileged. Now, government is for everyone. So instead of apportioning funds for sharing, they will use the same funds for building something that everybody will use. And that is our mantra in this government. And we will not change it, no matter how much noise people make. I was telling some people that sometimes people make noise to be noticed, to be recognized, and then to be for negotiation. And so if it is about noise, you will keep hearing noise. But we have said we will pay no attention. So as you go back, please let people know that this government, this is the style of government that has come to stay, even if I'm not here. You see, the thing about good governance is that when people have tested it, they never would allow themselves to go back to Egypt. So it is also for all of us to defend what is working, because we know where we are coming from. And if you like to go back to where you are coming from, I can assure you that you are in the minority. The majority of the people have moved. And once the train had left the station, it has left you behind. So I want to also use this opportunity to thank members of the House of Assembly who have been giving support to this government. And not too long ago, some of them left their former parties and joined us in Labour Party. We cannot take that for granted. We thank them. And I believe that the reason they did that is because they have seen the quality governance that this administration has brought to bear on the state. So once again, let me thank you and wish you a good night's rest. God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of this month. Shall we take the national anthem, please?
Obodo Chukwu ga-abịa obodo ahịa na ọrụ aka steeti mbụ ekele anyị ga-arụsi ọrụ ike Igbo ndị mbụ Abịa ga-adị ukwu ebebere ugobere igwe bụ ike Chukwu.
Thank you, Your Excellency.